Joining me now, the Democratic Assistant Leader in the House, Congressman Jim Clyburn of South Carolina. Congressman Clyburn, thanks so much for joining me.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Chris.
The president announced today that he will be meeting with leaders from both parties, from both chambers at the White House Thursday. We're told Congresswoman Pelosi will be in attendance. What do you think it will take to get this deal done? It seems to me that the impasse has been clear for the last 3 months, and nothing has budged in direction to actually getting it done.
Well, I think a lot has been done. The fact of the matter is I am a member of the Biden group. Now, I guess we still exist. I believe, we're 85% there. We were about to have our very last meeting, or next to the last meeting, when Eric Cantor decided that he would no longer participate. We did a lot. And I'm very proud of what we've done. And I think that the Vice President will tell you that we were about 85% to where we needed to be. And I think that the President now, working with the leaders of both houses, hopefully Nancy Pelosi on the House side and Mr. Boehner, the Speaker of the House, and maybe the minority and majority leaders over on the Senate. We think they're in a good position to close this deal. So we've done a lot, but there is that tough 15 to 20% left on the table, involving mostly revenue raises.
Yes,
we
let me ask you about that,
said in our group. Yes.
I'm sorry. Let me ask you about that, Congressman. Because let's say we strike a deal magically. Some sense comes into the Republicans, and we strike the deal as has been reported in the press. The one that is almost there, which looks something like the contours of which are 85% spending cuts, 15% on the revenue side, somewhere in that neighborhood. Do you think it will hurt the economy at a time of 9% unemployment to take that level of federal spending out of the federal budget when we have the jobs problem we have now?
Well, I think we need to do a jobs bill. You mentioned something that I'm a big proponent of. I work with Shackelford, the representative from Philadelphia, as well as Peter DeFazio, on the transaction tax in order to pay for infrastructure development, to create jobs. So I think that if we had something like a transaction tax to pay for that, we could have what we call on the Democratic side a Make It in America jobs bill. So we can do a jobs bill as well as the deficit and debt relief bill without any real serious harm being done to any process. So I'm all for creating jobs, and so I don't think you are going to threaten that with this process. Remember, revenue raises that we've been talking about got a lot to do with getting rid of loopholes, getting rid of all of these deductions that we've been given to big oil when they don't need the subsidies that they've been getting rid of corporate jet depreciation. These kinds of things we could do without bringing any harm to anybody, without raising anybody's tax rates one iota. And that's what we have been proposing, and I would hope that my Republican colleagues will really sit down and get serious about this. What do we look like giving tax breaks to companies that continue to create jobs overseas? We want to give those tax breaks to companies that will create jobs here in our communities, and so that people can get back to work, and it will not in any way bother people who are paying their taxes, rather than those 38% of corporations who aren't paying any taxes at all.
Those 38% being the sticking point here. Congressman Jim Clyburn of South Carolina, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for having me.